Good morning, all. In the earlier class, we were discussing about product policy. Under that, we have discussed what is product for 2 marks and what is new product for 2 marks and what are the reasons for developing new product for 5 marks we have discussed in earlier session. So even if the new product is designed or new product is introduced to the market, to the existing market, in certain scenarios, those products may get fail. So what are the reasons for failure of the product is being introduced to the market is the topic for today's session. And this they may ask for 5 marks in your SEM exam. The reasons for failure of a product or why the new product fail. And if you overcome from these points, then these are the reasons for success of a product. Please do understand, these are the reasons for failure of a product. If you overcome from these problems, then your product, and if they ask in some exam that what are the reasons for success of a product. So these things, if you write vice versa, then those are the reason for success of the product. These are the reason for the failure of the product. So we will discuss one by one. The first one is shortage of new ideas. So even if you are introducing a new product to the market, if that product never contains any unique features than what the features or what are the other things offered by your competitor, that means ultimately your idea is not sufficient for new product. Fine. So that is the major reason. See, that's why if any company intends to introduce a new product or design the new product, they research intensely and they do all the market surveys or they do all the research on consumer behaviors. Then only they come with new ideas. So if that idea is not sufficient enough to develop or design a new product, then ultimately that product fails. Then high cost of development, heavy capital investment with uncertain return. Uncertain return. And this point is totally related to research and development of the product. So for research and development purpose, company has to invest huge lot of capital in it. But the return on that investment is uncertain because this product is not yet being born. It is still under research and development stage, and this stage requires huge lot of investment and it requires large capital amount. And if the company invest that amount only in the research and development, and company the next thing, once this product is designed, company requires huge amount for its promotion purpose also. If the research and development consumes all the entire capital company kept aside for developing new product, then that product may gets failed because company is at this point of time company is not having sufficient fund for its promotional facilities, promotion of that particular product. So the R&D consumes huge capital, it requires huge investment, but return on investment, that is ROI, is uncertain. Return on investment starts only when you start selling the product in the market. To sell the product in the market, you have to invest lot more money in promotional activities also. If the R&D itself consumes the entire capital of the company, if the research and development consumes the whole lot of money invested by the promoter of this company, then that promoter may not having sufficient fund for its promotional activities. That is the major reason the failure of the product. That means high cost of development. Development is nothing but research and development. Heavy capital investment with uncertain return, because at this point of time the manufacturer or producer, it is uncertain for him what will be the return on his investment. So the major reason for failure of the product is huge investment on R&D and uncertain return on their investment. And the next thing is time time taken to develop a new product. See, if you are going to introduce new automobile in your portfolio, for example, if the in case of Maruti Suzuki, they are competing with Hyundai, Tata Motors, Honda, Mahindra small cars, etc. Fine. So the many companies are coming up with new product having multi features, having advanced features, internet inside like Kia Seltos, like Tata Altros, Gold Class, etc. To compete with that product, even at that point of time when the Tatas or Kia were introducing their small cars to market, that time Maruti also should have their own new product to compete with those products. But if they take longer time period to develop a new car or new automobile which is going to compete with others in the automobile sector, then other car will get succeed and this Maruti fails to introduce new product. So the time taken and the earlier point, research and development is time consuming also. It consumes whole lot of time. So if the company takes the larger amount of time period in research and development itself before introducing the product to market, then that is the major reason product gets failed, because your competitor will introduce new product having all new features, all new features, unique features with them. So if you take longer time period to develop a new product, then ultimately your product is going to fail against the competitor's product. And once you invest huge lot of money, once you invest a longer time period to develop a new product, even after, as of a sudden, government imposes certain rules for its social purpose. For example, in the automobile sector itself, if the Maruti invest 20, 200 crores, 300 crores for research and development to develop a new diesel vehicle, then as of a sudden, excuse me, as of a sudden government imposes the stopping of all the BS5, Bharat Standard 4, 5, etc. Bharat Standard second version, third version, fourth generation, etc. As of a sudden, government imposes that we are introducing new environmental norms for which the diesel vehicle manufacturer should follow all these rules. But Maruti has already invested huge amount of money in developing diesel car. As of a sudden, government bans the small diesel cars itself. Then what about those huge investment? So this is the one more reason. As of a sudden, these are the uncertain. We never know what rules our government is going to impose in another 1 year, 2 year. So we have to look, we have to consider future, we have to forecast the government rules which are going to be introduced very soon, very shortly. So this is one more reason for failure of the product. Then failure of a company to formulate effective marketing strategies, including 4 P's. So 4 P's are nothing but product, price, place, promotion, and in modern marketing, there are the fifth P, that is people. Fine. So we are going to discuss in detail each piece here. So, but the thing is, we are discussing why any product fails in any market. So, if the company spends the entire huge lot of capital in research and development itself, and the no capital or no investment, no money is left over with the company for the purpose of promotional activities, then that product is going to ultimately failure in near future. So that is what the company has to invest whole lot of money in developing a new product and its pricing strategies. And see, company, if the company invested huge lot of amount to develop a new product, then price should be reasonable, because you have to compete with your competitors. If the competitor's price is lesser enough, then the consumer or customer never going to buy your product. So they are very price conscious. So you have to fix the price which is lower than your competitor. Then the place means channel of distribution. Channel of distribution in the sense manufacturer to wholesaler to retailer, manufacturer to wholesaler to carry and forward agents, and retailers to consumer. So these, how you reach your ultimate consumer is called as place or channel of distribution. So you have to invest whole lot of money in this P also. And promotion requires the more expensive activity for any manufacturer or producer is promotional thing. So we will discuss in detail in advertising chapter also. So promotion, these four P's and the fifth P called people, the company has to invest a lot more, and company has to formulate effective strategies to tackle all these five P's, including people. The people in the sense you have to study purchasing behavior or buying pattern of the consumer, or the target segment, what people think about your product and all. So company needs to invest the entire whole lot of huge amount of capital in all these activities. And the last reason is due to dynamic nature of change in market or taste and preference. These are very frequently taste and preference of the consumer changes, because in today's technology, because the drastic changes or dynamic change in technological environment, it's very difficult to cope up with these changes. If you have developed a new feature in your product, and as of a sudden when your product is being introduced to the market and the new technology arises or new technology comes up, then your product gets ultimately failure, because your product contains the all old traditional technology. So you have to consider dynamic nature of market. That means your strategy should not be rigid. Your strategies for new product should be flexible enough so that it should cope up, or it should place all the changes arises. So these are the few points or few reasons for the failure of the product. Thank you.